Hey, this is Leo from themechills.com, and today I'm going to share with you how to go about creating a mood board. So, firstly, when I want to come up with some ideas, what I usually do is I go and check out other websites just to gain some inspiration and start to get my creative juices flowing. Firstly, I'd like to create a canvas, just a blank canvas, where I'll be able to add the images or different elements that I find, and that way I'll start to build out the idea, and eventually I'll be using it as a resource to start building out the site. So one of the sites I check out is Dribbble, and Dribbble.com is a site where designers and developers all over the world contribute to the community by providing little previews as to what work they're currently working on. What I'll do first, I'll just go to everyone so we can check out some of the work that is being done, and you start to get small visuals of what websites people are working on. So if we check out this site, you'll start to see that this obviously has some kind of person in the background that has some opacity and whatnot. Could it be something I could implement on my design? Maybe. So what I'll do is I'll grab my snippet tool and I'll just crop that out of the site, copy, and then I'll paste it into Photoshop. Now, it's important to remember we are not copying other people's designs. That is a big no-no. What we are doing is we are getting inspiration from some of the awesome work that is done by designers all over the world, and by putting it on a mood board you can start to create your own unique look and feel of your project. So that's just one example of how we use Dribbble. Now we could expand on that and just keep going down the page. Here you got a nice little screenshot of another concept that this designer has come up with, and I do like the sharpness of how everything is sectioned off. So once again I'll just crop that out and I'll be putting it onto the mood board that I'm creating, and I'll put it into Photoshop, and I'll put it, oops, sorry about that, let me just undo that. I just put it on the mood board. There we go, that'll do. Next, let's move on to another website called Subtle Patterns. I actually came across this site thanks to Chris Coyer from CSS Tricks, who had a great idea in terms of just starting to, once again, you have a blank canvas, you want to come up with ideas, just put something on paper just so you can start to get the mind working. And what this site does, it gives you textured backgrounds, so you can preview the different backgrounds that are patterned off, and then just start to get an idea as to whether it's something you could use. For the purpose of this video, I'm not necessarily going to download the pattern, but I do like this one. So what I'm going to do is once again grab my snippet tool, and I'm going to just crop this background, and we'll copy that, and we'll close that off, paste the background there. Great, that's enough. After Subtle Patterns, there's another website I really like, which is called Unmatched Style, unmatchedstyle.com. These guys, it's pretty much a CSS gallery, or website gallery should I say, and you can just start to check out some of the sites that have come out, what are some of the look and feel that the designer has been using, and start to see if there's an area that you prefer or that you like the elements of. This looks like a nice site. Oh, there's Chris Coyer. Visit site. Let's check it out. And I just would do this for multiple websites. This is a very nice site. I like it. I like it. I like the fact that it's got a fixed header here. That's a pretty cool feature that we can maybe add in. And once again, I like the sharpness of the sectioning of the site. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab this whole chunk and we'll close that off. put it into the mood board. You can then start rearranging the mood board, but the main thing is just to put something on paper. So that's good enough for now. I might even decide to bookmark this site later so I can come back to it. So what I'll do is I'll open up a notepad and I'll just put it down as a website that I may check out later on. Next, this is actually a site I came across while doing some inspiration brainstorming, which has some nice elements to it. I do like this area here where it breaks down the description of that element, or the service, should I say. So we'll cut that out as well and just come back to it on the mood board. Paste that in. Great. Let's close that off. So this is pretty much how I go about doing mood boards. So what I might do is I'll pause the video here and then we'll come back to a more polished mood board. That way you can see how exactly it looks once I complete my brainstorming inspiration session. Before I do go, there is one more site that I wanted to mention. Now I'm not going to grab anything from it yet, and that's called CSS Line. And it's really good because you can just keep on expanding and it'll start generating more and more sites. Great way to get an idea as to what design concepts you can come up with and whatnot. So highly recommend you check out CSS Line as well. So for now, I'll pause the video here and I'll be back with you and we'll go from there. Okay, so now that we're back, as you can see, I've enhanced the mood board a little bit, just put in a few more elements that I found across the web. I'll just show you what I've added. So just added a couple of shots with images. The textured background is there now. Examples of sectioning off different categories, examples of a background image with a foreground section that has opacity to it, so making it see-through. I really like this grey tone that is being used to complement the call to actions. Really smooth, a bit of iconography there happening. So it just starts to give me ideas as to some things that I may consider. It doesn't necessarily mean that they will be included, but it's something that's there and could help if I decide to use it. And here's another example of just a video player type setup. So this is pretty much how the mood board looks. So from here I would just save it and include it in my resources folder within the template that I'll be creating, and I'll be able to use it as a guide as I go along. That's it for now, guys. So thanks for joining me in this video, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks.